Hello there everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to cover a pretty popular theory surrounding Tears of the Kingdom that's been going around since March 28th, when we got the Tears of the Kingdom gameplay demonstration from AG Aonuma. Before we get into that though, I do really want to say thank you for all the support on my recent Tears of the Kingdom content. I really appreciate it and it helps motivate me to keep doing more. I also want to say that in no way am I taking credit for this theory or these discoveries. I found out about it from one of my close friends the day the gameplay dropped, and since then several other creators and fans have theorized the same things, but I wanted to cover it anyway and give my opinion on it and what I think it could mean. Without further ado, let's get into it. In the recent gameplay demonstration from Mr. Aonuma, he showed off 4 new abilities for Link. Recall, which lets you rewind time on certain objects. Fuse, which lets you fuse seemingly any interactable object or item on the map to create something new. Ultra Hand, which lets you make all sorts of contraptions and machines, as well as just move stuff around. And finally, Ascend, which lets you emerge at the top of any surface Link is below. These are all very different from anything we saw in Breath of the Wild, presenting really interesting new gameplay implications and possibilities. But one of these abilities is a bit different from the rest. Fuse, Ultra Hand, and Ascend all share something pretty major in common. When being used, Link's entire arm glows green. But with Recall, that's not the case. Instead, it just shines a bright light, seemingly coming from the center of his gauntlet. This might not sound significant, but it most definitely is. If you take a look at the symbol for Recall, and then take a look at the back of the right Joy-Con on the new Tears of the Kingdom Special Edition Switch OLED, you can see that same symbol. On the backside of the left Joy-Con, however, is a completely new symbol that we've never seen before. This, at minimum, more or less confirms that there will be one more ability, because why would they have a symbol for one of the icons on one Joy-Con, and then have a different unrelated icon or symbol on the other Joy-Con? That doesn't make any sense. But here's the thing, it doesn't end there. In the Tears of the Kingdom Collector's Edition, the big box special edition for the game, there is a pin set, which includes 4 pins. We only fully see one of these pins and get a sneak peek of the one next to it in the set, and while these don't match up with any other symbols we've seen, they look awfully similar design-wise to the 2 symbols on the back of the Special Edition Joy-Con. So yeah, this is more speculative and without concrete proof, but I think it stands to reason that these are probably related to the Recall ability as well as the other symbols we've seen, because think about it, you're making a pin set for your Special Edition out of these new symbols that no one knows what they are. They must play a pretty major role in the game, so I think making them based on the abilities makes a lot of sense, right? Something else worth noting is that during the gameplay demonstration, we didn't actually see Aonuma switch abilities. He just jumped around to different clips. This is definitely intentional to hide stuff in general, you know, they're trying to keep stuff secret, but maybe him not wanting to show us how many ability slots there are played a big role in that decision. You know, if he had opened up the menu to switch from Fuse to Ascend, for example, we would have seen how many slots there are in the menu, which would have been a huge spoiler. And if all of this is true, Aonuma's clearly trying to keep these new abilities secret, so that's why he did that. If all of this ends up being accurate, that means there are 3 more abilities Link can use in Tears of the Kingdom on top of the 4 we've already seen that we know nothing about. But I gotta be honest, and this is more baseless, I don't think they'd have just 3 regular abilities, so I think there'll be one more to go aside Fuse, Ultra Hand, and Ascend, making for a total of 8 abilities in this game. 4, let's call them Hylia abilities, and 4 Zonai abilities. Unfortunately though, we don't have much to work with when it comes to trying to figure out what those new abilities will actually be. While the icons for the other 3 abilities, Fuse, Ultra Hand, and Ascend, are all pretty self-explanatory in what they do, the symbol for Recall just isn't. Like, bro, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be looking at here. So your guess is as good as mine when it comes to what these other abilities actually are and what they can do in this world. I'd say that Stasis could be one of them, because out of the 4 main abilities from Breath of the Wild, that one seems pretty major to leave out, especially since Ultra Hand basically replaces Magnesis functionality-wise, and bombs can just be items. But I kind of get the vibe they're not going to bring it back. It feels like they're really trying to just make everything new with this game, at least in terms of what Link can do. From what we know, and trying to predict the structure of this game based off of Breath of the Wild, I think this means we'll probably end up unlocking Fuse, Ultra Hand, Ascend, and that secret 4th ability in this game's tutorial area, like the Great Plateau, the area we've seen with those Sky Islands. We've really only seen this opening area, which I think is safe to assume that's the Great Plateau of this game. While the other 4 abilities, the Zonai abilities, as I'm calling them, will be earned through completing the game's main dungeons, which I'm fairly confident this game is going to have based on the fact that it was literally a main complaint against Breath of the Wild. I do think this game will have more traditional dungeons where you earn an ability or an item through completing it. I mean, I think that's the main thing everyone really wants with this game, right? So yeah, let me know what you think of all this down in the comments below. I love how they're really trying to keep this game's secrets close to their chest and not over-reveal every little aspect. I cannot stand when games spoil too much, and with Tears of the Kingdom, while I think maybe they could have shown a little bit more a little bit sooner, I'm pretty happy with the amount we've seen, and I really hope they don't actually just reveal these abilities before the game comes out. I would like to discover these on my own in the game. It makes speculating fun, and the lead up to release on May 12th even more exciting. Let me know what you think these new abilities could be down in the comments below. Once again, your guess is as good as mine. It's pretty much impossible to guess based on what we've seen and what the icons are, but it's always fun to speculate. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing so you don't miss more of my Tears of the Kingdom coverage, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.